Hey, alright, welcome to another video. If you haven't know before, my name is Georgia Jo and this is my channel where I talk all things books. So today I thought I would go through my winter TBR. So basically the books that I want to get read between December, January and February, and sort of start the new year off by getting some books ticked off from my physical TBR. And yeah, I thought let's just go through them. So first off, we have got some classics which I really want to get read and get them on my sort of read bookshelf so they're not on my TBR one anymore. So we're going to start with Animal Farm by George Orwell. I will say I've got 3 classics here and I don't really know anything about these stories, about the storylines, what they're about. I don't know anything about them, but I think that's okay. I want to go in a bit blind. So yeah, we've got Animal Farm by George Orwell, and then we've got 1984 by George Orwell. Again, know nothing about it. And then we've got The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which I do know what this one's about. I have seen the film as well, but I do know roughly what it's about. But yeah, so we've got those 3 classics to start with. I do have a few more classics on my physical TBR, but I don't want to overwhelm myself with them, you know, so we'll just start with those 3 for now. One of my sort of bookish goals for next year is to finish or at least move along a lot of the series that I'm in the middle of. So with that in mind, I have got a few books on this TBR that are either the last ones or the next ones or whatever. They're in a series. So first of all, we have got The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. This is the 4th book in the Thursday Murder Club series, which I really enjoy. Obviously I've read the first 3. I really enjoy it. This is basically like murder mysteries, whodunit type thing, but it's based in an old folks home and it's a group of old people that are trying to figure out who like murdered whoever it is that gets murdered. So yeah, it's just really fun. It's all very British and it's just very lovely to read. And yeah, I'd like to get this series up to date. I think there is another one coming out next year, so I want to get this read before that one comes out. But yeah, that is The Last Devil to Die. And then we have got Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston. So this is a romance and it's the 3rd one I think from this Once Upon a Con series. I have read the first 2. I want to say it's Geekarella was one of them and The Princess and the Fangirl. I think that's what it's called. I can't properly see it on my bookcase, but I think that's what they're called. And I don't really remember much about them. I think they were just very easy to read romances, and this I'm assuming is going to be loosely based on Beauty and the Beast. And yeah, I'd just like to get this series completed. So Ashley Poston is the author of 7 Year Slip, The Dead Romantics and A Novel Love Story. They're sort of her newer ones, and I wanted to get these 3 read as well, which I think are all, I don't think they've been traditionally published. I think they're all indie published, but don't sort of quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Oh no, they are, it's the published by Quirk. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to get this book read and this will round off that series, and I think it'll round off Ashley Poston's whole backlog, so that'll be pretty cool to get this one finished. So yeah, that is Bookish and the Beast. Next up, we actually have 2 from a series which I own all of. You might actually be able to see the rest of them are here, and it is the Shatter Me series. So I think Ignite Me is next, and then you've got Restore Me. So these are the next 2 from the series. After these I've got 4 more, but 2 of them are novellas and then 2 are full-sized novels. So yeah, I really want to get this series finished in the next year, because I read Shatter Me about 18 months ago, and I recently read the 2 that come after that, the novellas and the novel. But I'd really like to I want to get it finished, completely finished in the year. So yeah, I think if I start off with the next 2 through the winter, and then we'll see where we get from there. But yeah, so we've got Ignite Me and Restore Me by Tahira Mafi. And then still continuing on with the getting series finished, we have got Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. This is part of the Grishaverse. It is the 2nd one in the Six of Crows duology, and I only read Six of Crows very recently, so I probably get this read in December because I don't want to have forgotten the storyline. So I want to try and get it read you know, very soon. So yeah, I really enjoyed Six of Crows. It's basically a group of 6 people that come together. They're all from different like backgrounds, they've all got different stuff going on, they've all got different reasons why they want to join the group, and they are trying to break someone out of prison. Like, it's like a big heist, but the prize is a person that they're trying to break out of prison, and if they break them out successfully and deliver them to the person they're breaking them out for, then they'll get loads of money. That's kind of the whole storyline, but it's so good. There's so many different things happening. I really love the characters, very heavily character like based, where you are rooting for them, you know. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. But like I say, I want to get it read before I forget all the characters and the relationships and stuff like that. So yeah, that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and this will also, oh no, I was going to say this will also finish the Grishaverse for me, but they won't. There's 2 more in the series, but they're like, there's like 3 separate series within the Grishaverse, I think, and I've still got the 3rd one to go, so scrap that. That was going to be a complete lie, but this will at least finish off the duology. Next, another one from a series, but this is one that I will be up to date on once I read it, and it is A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne. So this is following, oh, what's the other one called? Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, the first one. And these are like cozy fantasies. If you enjoyed Legends and Lattes, you'll probably enjoy this series. And I read it not that long ago really, but really enjoyed it. It was following, the first one was following Cianth and Rhaena. Cianth was a the most powerful mage, and Rhaena was like in the Queen's Guard, and they both decide that their lives are too sort of dangerous and too tiring, and they just want to live a peaceful life. So they decide to run off and open I think it was a bookshop and a cafe, I want to say, like a tea shop that sells books, I think it was, something like that. And so it's just following that there too, but there's also a subplot that's got dragons involved, and then the dragon subplot falls into this one. So this is following a pirate and a constable or something like that, but also Cianth and Rhaena are in this one, but we're getting the sort of relationship, I'm assuming, between the pirate and the constable. So yeah, that is this one. So it's a cozy fantasy. They're just really nice reads. I think this is going to be like a January read when I don't have that much brain power left from Christmas and the New Year, and I just want a lovely cozy read. This is going to be perfect for that. So yeah, that's A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne. And then another 2 from the same series, which I'd like to get the whole series again completed this year, and it is the Maze Runner series. So we've got Scorched Trials and The Death Cure, obviously both by James Dashner. So I read Maze Runner this year, and I do own the others. I don't think you can see them on the, I think they're above this bookcase, but so there's actually 5 in this series, which I didn't realise. After these you've got Kill Order and then The Fever Code, I think the last one's called, but I don't know if they're like prequels or if they're set afterwards. I'm not 100% sure, but I know there's only 3 films, so I don't know what the last 2 books are, but I've only put these 2 on my sort of winter TBR for now, and then obviously once I get these done I'll read the others. But I'd like to get the whole set done, the whole series finished before the end of the year. So yeah, we've got Scorched Trials, we've got Death Cure. I don't know if I've seen the films. I've seen the first one, definitely. I'm not actually sure if I've seen the 2nd and 3rd ones, or if I have, it was like a long time ago when they first came out, so I don't really actually remember the storyline that much. So I'm looking forward to getting into these. I do feel like it is going to be a bit of a surprise, or maybe it'll be once I start reading it I'll be like, oh yeah, I do remember that. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to reading them either way. So yeah, that is those 2. And then the last one, I think, yeah, last one on the sort of trying to get series done is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. So I do have Prior of the Orange Tree, which I've not read yet, but I am going to get it read before the end of the year. I'm absolutely going to get it read before the end of the year. So I've only put this one on, but really the Prior of the Orange Tree is also on my winter TBR. I just feel like I've put it on my TBR for the past probably few months maybe, and haven't got round to it, but I'm definitely getting it read before the end of the year, so I only put this one on. But this is actually a prequel, but it came out after, so I'm gonna read it after. And yeah, I'd really like to get both of these done. These are beautiful books. I absolutely love what they both look like. But yeah, so I don't know anything about this story. Like I say, I've not read Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm pretty sure it's got dragons in it, just purely because that's what's on the cover, but I don't really know anything about the actual storyline. But I'm really looking forward to getting into it, and I want to get them both read before I start. I think it's called The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which is another series which I would want to get into, but I want to get these two read first. So yeah, that is A Day of Fallen Night. Very chunky book. I'm actually not sure how many pages are in it, but there's a lot either way. 866 pages, I think it said. So yeah, very chunky books, but I'm looking forward to getting into this, getting into a new world, and also getting into Samantha Shannon, because I have a lot of the author's books, but I haven't actually read any of them, so I want to get into the writing. So yeah, that is A Day of Fallen Night, and then that is it for the sort of series done. And then I've just got 3 others which I'd like to read. I think 2 of them actually might be the first ones in series, and then one's a standalone. So we'll go with the standalone first, and that is Babel or Babel by R.F. Kuang. This has been on my TBR for so long, and I don't know why I feel so intimidated by it. I don't really know what it's about. I think it's like dark academia, which will be not a complete new series for new genre, sorry, for me, but it's definitely not one that I read often. So I do feel a little bit intimidated by it, and I don't know why. But yeah, I do want to get it read. Like I say, it's been on my TBR for a long time. I don't really know anything about the storyline, but I know it's really popular. It actually says on the front, fiction winner, British Book Awards fiction winner, book of the year. I don't know what year that was, but yeah, I do really want to get it read and see what sort of all the hype was about, but I just feel very intimidated by it. But we will get round to it. We'll get it read this winter, definitely. So that is Babel or Babel by R.F. Kuang. And then the penultimate book, which I'm pretty sure is a series, I want to say the second one's called Hellbent, but I don't own that one. But it is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So I only got into Leigh Bardugo's books this year, and I've read the Shadow of Bone series, and I've read Six of Crows, and then obviously I've got Crooked Kingdom on my winter TBR as well. But once I read Crooked Kingdom, I want to get in some more of her other writing that's not in the Grishaverse. Again, I think this is dark academia, so a little bit intimidated again. I've had this on my physical TBR probably the same amount of time as I have had Babel or Babel, and I just feel intimidated by them. I think as well it says Impossible to Put Down, which is a review by Stephen King, and I've not read any of his books before. Again, I find them a bit intimidating, so I don't know, I just feel a little bit nervous about starting it, but definitely going to get it read this winter for sure. And I'm actually really looking forward to reading it. I just haven't picked it up yet for one reason or another, but definitely going to get it read. So that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And then last but not least, we have a new release, which again I think might actually be dark academia, and it is Immortal Dark by Tigest Germa. This is a new one that I recently got. I think it didn't come out that long ago, and this is the US cover which I absolutely love. It has these sprayed edges that says no soul can enter without an invitation. I'm pretty sure that this is vampires and it's dark academia. Don't really know much else about it, but I've seen some good reviews on it, and I'm really looking forward to getting into a new series. I don't always like books about vampires. I don't know what it is, I just don't often enjoy them, but I'm hoping this is going to be different and I might enjoy this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. New series, I think it's going to be a series anyway, I'm pretty sure, which I'll have to try and find the American covers for the rest of the series so they all match. But yeah, so that is the last one on the winter TBR, Immortal Dark by Tigest Germa. And that is it for the books I would like to get read. I'm hoping I'll get more books than just those read by the end of February, but they are sort of my priority TBR that I'd like to get read over the winter. So yeah, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you would like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.